Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, what in the world is going to happen between Nick Snider and Theresa Roemer? Are we talking lawsuits? Are we talking court? What kind of advice should these people be getting right now? We're going to find all that out today. So, as I like to tell people, I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and we take a look at the tea with the tarot in these videos. Alrighty, yo, let's look into this. As most of you already know, I'm sure, there has been drama popping off between the two of these folks for the last couple of days now. It started out, here's a brief synopsis. It started out with her making a YouTube video, collaboration with some guy, Sturgios, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. Fresh water. Where she basically said that no YouTube collaborations or interactions are real. They're all for business. Nobody's actually friends. This is purely transactional, yada, yada, yada. And some people didn't take too kindly to that. Nick Snider, for one, made a video where he went back at that notion and was really offended, said his 2 cents. She clapped back again, said her 2 cents, flashed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, on the screen, and people took that as a kind of a way of saying, hey Nick, don't go further with this or this is gonna get legal. Well, that made him really mad, pissed him off further, and he decided to make yet another video where at the end of it he burned his copy of the NDA, and then she sent him a cease and desist, or her legal team did rather, sent him a cease and desist, which in a lot of people's views is a precursor to lawsuit type language. So people are feeling some kind of way about this. So we're going to get into it with the cards. As I like to say, everything that we talk about in these videos are meant to be helpful. They're not meant to be hateful. If you're down with that, join the family here. I'd love to have you. And also, everything we talk about is just alleged. This is all alleged. This is just a girl playing with her tarot cards. All alleged. Just entertainment. Okay? Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Got me good. Okay. For y'all who've been around for a minute for my channel, you already know that I did a video about 3 months ago, maybe even close to 4 months ago now, of the drama community in 2020. Kind of predictions to see what was going to happen among some of the bigger drama channels, what was going to happen among some of the smaller drama channels. And a lot of those have already come true. I was kind of rewatching some of the older established drama channel predictions that I had, and in there was one in there that says in 2020 someone in the bigger drama channel scene is gonna get litigious, gonna get legal, and if it does, that it's not gonna go well. So that was in there. I think that's a little bit of foreshadowing to this. And another thing was that there was another part in there for the bigger drama channels about a male in the bigger drama channels that would experience a heartbreak that would be affecting both home and work, because it was going to be really, really, really life-shattering type news pertaining to a female. And I feel really bad when things like that come up, because I don't like hearing hard news, and that did happen the past couple weeks in the drama community, where some guy did lose a female family member and now a beloved pet companion, which is really heartbreaking. Really, really heartbreaking. I have 3 puppies right here on the floor. They're my world. They're my everything. I have a brother and a sister. You know, send love to anyone affected by things like that. It's a really hard time in the world right now. But let's take it back to the situation at hand. Nick Snider, Theresa Roemer, that prediction from that video a couple months ago that said if things get litigious, that it's not gonna go well. Don't bring things legal for this because it's not gonna go well. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take a look at that, and we're gonna see what kind of things might be coming in the future, what's gonna happen between Nick and Theresa. So let's take a look at that before we get in here too far. This deck has been shuffled already, but I'll shuffle it a little bit more because what harm can that do to show y'all that I'm shuffling a little bit more? But yeah, we want to know what's going on between Nick and Theresa. We want to know if we see anything in the cards that show us that maybe lawsuits or court or something like that could be in the future. See if there's any kind of advice that the cards give to either of those 2 individuals. Let's take a look here. So, it's a hilarious way to start out. I swear that the cards have a sense of humor. Spirit has a sense of humor. Okay, so let's get us a thing started here, and we'll move forward with whatever we've got. Okay. God. Woo! It's just getting funner. It's getting funner. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. The Lover's card in reverse can often mean a business deal gone wrong, a contract getting broken, something of that nature. So we're already kind of getting a validation of what type of things going on right now. So some kind of a business deal gone wrong, some kind of a contract getting broken, you know, business partnership falling out, things of that nature. With the 2 of Pentacles right next to it and the Empress upright, this is saying this is transactional. So it's funny because the 2 of Pentacles is kind of a sign of saying, you know, juggling these balls up in the air, keeping this in the air, and this is sometimes meaning a passing of money or a passing of business collaboration, contracts, things of that nature. So this is a transaction. This is an exchange of some sort, and with this woman. Now we have the Empress here, and the Empress is upright. So this is suggesting that, oddly enough, Theresa is in a more advantaged situation than some people may give her credit for. That doesn't necessarily mean all her ideas are good or that she's going to be able to pull off all her ideas, but that does mean that she's in more of an advantaged position than maybe some people realize or would even hope for, because there is something going on transactional between her and Nick Snider, and this is something about a business agreement going sour, going wrong. So there's something to be noted about that. Now as we get into the bottom row, here we go. With the 6 of Pentacles upright, 7 of Swords upright, Knight of Swords upright. There's a lot going on here. We're probably going to have to pull some clarifiers on some of this crap. But what we're seeing here is that one of these 2 individuals feels like, listen here, I gave you, you know, what you were wanting out of this. You got what you wanted out of this. You know, don't bite the hand that feeds you here. You got what you wanted. But somebody else is willing to be sneaky. When you have the 7 of Swords upright, I mean, look at this person sneaking around over here. You can see it. This person's being sneaky as hell. So this is somebody that's sneaking around, trying to get their way, seeing how far that they can get, when by any means necessary kind of a thing. They're being a little bit deceptive. They're being a little bit sneaky. And then here you have the energy of someone charging forward full steam ahead, but they're doing it in a way that's kind of scattered. They're going fast and hard, but it's kind of scattered. So let's pull some clarifiers, because I want a little bit of extra information on some things. Primarily, I want some information on this sneaky card right here. Okay. Okay. So, in terms of sneaky, I'm like, all right, people are going to speculate, well, who's being sneaky? Which one of them is being sneaky? Is it Nick being sneaky, or is it Theresa being sneaky? And again, let me say, this is all alleged. This is all alleged. But here you have the Hierophant upright, and so this is saying this is about commitment. This is about something that was supposed to be a traditional commitment, run-of-the-mill thing that it's not something that's all that crazy or unorthodox. This is something that people do all the time that makes sense, traditional commitment. So that's talking about this business relationship, this transaction. So whatever they had in place, they didn't have anything that's too crazy, too out of the ordinary. This is something that's normal in this scene. However, we have the Ten of Swords here, which is a backstab card. Backstab card. So this is somebody who, somebody's getting deceptive, somebody's being sneaky. And so because of that, because of somebody being sneaky, somebody else is getting stabbed in the back. Somebody else is getting stabbed in the back. And when it's looking at who, we get this card. Let me pull some other cards on this same thing real quick. Hold on. I like a lot of context. I like some context. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, right after the backstabber card, the betrayal card, we get a female, and we get, this is the Queen of Wands. We get a female energy, and this female energy is in a reversed position, which means in this case a female energy here is not having the best of intentions. This female energy here is okay with being a backstabber and okay with betraying people. And when you ask why, you get this card. Because this female thinks that she is the one who was wronged here. She thinks she's the victim. She thinks she was the one that was wronged. And yet you see that this person here who's tied up, they can get out. They're not really a victim. They're not really trapped. They're not really wronged. This is a prison of their own making, per se. A prison of their own making. So with this card being in reverse, it suggests that there is a possibility that this female may figure that out. There is a possibility that this, feminine energy, this female person, may figure out that she isn't the one that's wronged, and she's not in a disadvantaged position, and she's not a victim, and, something could come of that. But right now, that's kind of the mentality. Even if she may be able to get out of it, right now, that's kind of the mentality. Here, you get an Eight of Cups in reverse. When you get the Eight of Cups in reverse, that means a permanent walking away. So that can mean several things here. That could mean somebody realizes, crap, this isn't the way to go. I ought not move forward in this direction, because if I move forward in this direction, I'm going to get more screwed than I realized. And so they walk away from that, and they shape up and shape out, and everything, gets a little bit more back to normal. That would be the hopeful way of reading this. If we're wanting to read this from the most positive potential that we can, that's what it's looking like. There is a potential, though. I like to, be honest and fair and say it all. There is a potential, though, that when we talk about permanent walking away, there's a potential that means like someone saying, screw it, this YouTube thing isn't working out, I'm done with this. Like someone walking away as in being done with the whole scene. So that could happen. It could be that someone gets run off or gets mad, decides it's not worth it, and they leave. So somebody might leave the scene completely. That's a possibility. But it could just be about abandoning this position to try to do something backstabby and underhanded and betraying people. It could be somebody abandoning that position, and that would be the hopeful thing. That would be what you would want to see out of something like this. So there we have that. Let me pull a couple others. I know I got so many clarifiers here. Let me stack up my clarifiers so that I at least have them, around the same place. I want some clarifiers. Ooh. I want some clarifiers here. Okay. So, here's the interesting part. About this transaction card, we have a man in reverse, which means that allegedly, there is something that Nick is maybe not seeing, that he may be in the wrong a little bit about something. That doesn't mean he's in the wrong about a lot of things. It doesn't mean he's in the wrong about everything. It doesn't mean that I'm saying he needs to cave and fold to whatever Theresa's throwing his way. I'm just saying that if he is aware of that, then he needs to be careful. And if he is not aware of that, if he sees this, I would encourage him to look into what kinds of ways that it's even remotely possible that he could have, he could be at risk with something here. In what ways is it possible that he could be treading on risky territory, risky ground here? Because that's something that, for self-interest's sake, he needs to pay attention to. And if he already knows it, then okay, you know it. So if you know better, do better, kind of thing. And if he doesn't know it, please take a look. Because here on the Empress, remember this is Theresa, we get the moon upright. So there are things that she is a little bit more nervous about than she's showing. And there's things that she knows that she hasn't said yet. She's got a little bit of something in her back pocket. I don't know what that could be referring to, but she does have a little something in her back pocket. So whereas she may be going a little bit extra with what she's doing right now, legal-wise, it doesn't mean that she's doing it off of nothing. She has a little something that we don't know about. A little something hidden here that we don't know about. And she's very agenda-driven. So, just saying that there are things to be careful about here. There are things to be careful about here. Let me... Okay. Alright, so, she's, like I said, she's a little bit nervous about something, but there's some stuff that she's got in her back pocket, things that she knows that she's not sharing with people. But she ultimately, if she were to watch this, ultimately she's not seeing things quite clearly enough. With the Ace of Swords in reverse, this is kind of a clouded judgment. She's not seeing things as clearly as she needs to be, and the Two of Wands in reverse is lack of planning. So if she wanted to go through with something and she wanted that to work out, this may not be the way to go, because this is clouded judgment and lack of planning. And you don't want to have clouded judgment and lack of planning when it comes to legal stuff, because then you're just trying to force things to fit, and all you're doing is spending a lot of money and, you know, keeping things fueled by pride to try to figure things out and make something fit where it doesn't fit smoothly and effortlessly, and nobody wants to really have to be bothered with something like that. Like, that's a lot of work for very little payoff. So we got some cautionary things on both sides of the table, really, here as it relates to that. But Theresa, whether you want to admit it or not, you are being shady and you are being backstabby here. I hate to say it. I got nothing against you. Why would I have anything against you? Who am I? Nobody. I get that. But you may not want to admit it, but you are doing things based on pride a little bit, and you are being a little bit shady and backstabby here. And that ain't cool. And 2020 has a way of settling the score with things. I would not mess with 2020 energy if I were either of these two individuals. So let me look at a clarifier on that one. Okay. All right. Okay, here. Let me get one more. Alright, so what we're seeing with that scattered forward moving energy, but it is forward moving, we're seeing that things can get better, new things can start, the underdog, wink wink, can get back up on the horse, get back up on their feet again, and move forward and continue with their work. So those are the potentials. That's a good thing. That's how people would want this to end. But you got these two things getting in the way, and even a little bit of this getting in the way. So if people could just heed these warnings going on, I think that they'll find that this will be a lot smoother and a lot easier than trying to play this game and go toe-to-toe on this game, because 10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. So that's what looks like is going to happen. That's what looks like is what's next. That's what looks like is the advice that these folks need to hear, both of them. Yeah, that's what I got to say about this. So, wow, look at me go making a video for the first time in under 25 minutes. You know, wow. Go check out that other video about the drama community in 2020, the big established channels and the smaller established channels, if you want to kind of see how that goes and what predictions may have already come true from there. And of course, as you see over here, if you want a private reading with me, then go ahead and send me an email at my Bees Talks and Tarot Gmail to book a private reading with me. All of that is very reasonably and competitively priced, and I would love to have a session with y'all. That's the thing that I enjoy most, actually, is doing private sessions with y'all. And until next time, don't be a stranger. Come back and see me. Subscribe, like this video, and send it to anybody you think could be helped by this. And I reckon I'll talk at you later. Alright, y'all. Bye.